Hi everyone, Donna here with Bookkeeping Made Simple. And as always, I'm going to jump in today and we're going to talk about money mindsets just a little bit. I'm going to kind of keep this one short. As always, of course, if you enjoy these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. That's how I grow my channel. And hit the red notification bell. If you're on YouTube, you know what to do at this point. We've had these technologies around for 20 years. So let's talk. Most of the conversation about money involves income and expenses and loans, and it very seldom involves mindset. One of the things that I've noticed over the years, I've watched to see what happens to people who win the lottery, and most of the time, even though they've brought in a life-changing amount of money, they can't keep it. They spend it as fast as they brought it in. And it's a baffling amount of money. I mean, like I have sat down and said, well, if I won the lottery, what would I do? And after I bought a house and a car and maybe went on a couple of vacations, I was like, and the rest will be going into an IRA or something. I'm going to put them into investment vehicles. There's a few ways that you can increase your wealth. Number one is to change your mindset about it. It's really easy to bring money in, believe it or not. It's not that difficult to bring money in the door. It does take a lot of time and energy and a lot of hard work, but in today's market, advertising is affordable. It's a little bit harder maybe to be noticed, but you can network your way into making really good money if you are the entrepreneurial type, not everybody else. Also, so making money is not that difficult. Bringing money in isn't that difficult. And what we see with lottery winners is it's really not about how much you bring in, it is about how much you can keep. Lotto winners have a lot of trouble because, for one thing, in a lot of states, they are part of the privilege of winning is that you also have to be part of their marketing to get other people to buy lottery tickets. And so you are kind of out there. And for a lot of lottery winners, they have relatives crawling out of the woodwork that they have never spoken to before, who all of a sudden have their hands out and they want something. How do I? So it's, so if you don't have really strong boundaries, it's really easy to kind of give away your money. It happens a lot with business owners as well as they start to, in fact, I see it a lot even in the news. A lot of our politics today is based on envy. And I'm not going to get into that. I just don't feel like my political views have anything to do with running a business. So I'm not going to get into that. But I do see a lot of envy that's really promoted by certain media outlets and certain politicians. It's really easy to look at a business owner and think they have a lot of money. If they're a small business owner, like most people, they probably don't have a lot of money. You have to invest a lot of money to build a big business. And so one of the things that I encourage people to do is to reinvest the profits from their business into their business so that their business can grow. And one of the things that I never want to see a business owner do is try to be in the day-to-day operations. I really want them to graduate from that as quickly as possible. But that is a mindset shift. It is very hard to give up control of your baby, especially when your baby controls your income, to anybody else. And so it's very difficult to trust other people to manage a business, to figure out what key performance indicators you need to be watching, or to really work with your cash flow. And the business owner is the one that's taking all the risk. So on recourse loans, there's two kinds of business loans. One is recourse and one's non-recourse. Non-recourse loans are business only loans. So if the business goes under, the lender does not have recourse to the business owner to be able to collect on this loan. Recourse loans are the opposite. The business still takes out the loan, but the business owner or an officer of the business has to actually take personal responsibility for it. So there's a lot of risk that's involved with business ownership. It doesn't, like I said, it's not for everybody. Only a select few are going to be good at this. But you don't know until you try, is my thought on that. So the number one problem people have is not making money, it is keeping money. And one of the things that I see happen quite a bit is that, one, like I said, if you win the lottery, you're going to have every relative you didn't even know that you had, and some that you are pretty sure you're not related to, but they say that they're a cousin, they're going to be crawling out of the woodwork. Note to my cousins, I know who you are. Don't try to sneak any extras in there. And I don't have very many cousins, so that's kind of good. I have 2 living first cousins. No, 3. My Uncle Charles he was something else. But he has 3 children that are, and 2 of whom I've kind of kept in touch with. I don't know most of my cousins. So I would expect that if I hit the lottery, I'm gonna all of a sudden meet my cousins. And as I come from a Southern family, so when I say cousins, I mean like 4th cousins 5 times removed. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork. Hopefully not. So you have to make thoughtful decisions about money, and you have to actually have a healthy attitude about it. The lottery really does show up a lot of bad, a lot of toxic thinking about money. One is the envy, and we see that a lot. It's not fair that you have money and I don't, is usually how that works out. And then a lot of it is using the lottery as your retirement plan. Well, that's a really bad financial decision to make. And I'm saying that we play the lottery all the time, but we play it. It is a game. We drive up to Idaho or to Wyoming, and or down to California, and we buy lottery tickets. And we buy like $20 worth at a time, and we maybe play a couple of times a year. But I also know people where I swear it's their retirement plan. And so they are spending money they don't have on lottery tickets. The lottery is not a good investment. It is designed to make you lose. Same thing with Las Vegas. Same thing with any casino. They're designed to collect your money from you. So gambling, including the lottery, is not, it can be fun. It can be a pleasant diversion. And if that's what it is, that's great. But it is not a retirement or investment portfolio. What you want to do is you want to put your money in places where you have a little bit of control. Although I am a big fan of out of sight, out of mind. So one of the things that I do, I have an account with Edward Jones. If you're interested in finding more about my retirement planner, she's fantastic. She's one of the best I've ever come across. And that's why she has my money. I have that all set up on auto withdrawal every month, that I pull a small amount of money out of my business and I put it into an investment account. It's actually in a Roth IRA right now, and I have more money in that bank account right now than I've ever had saved before. And I'm excited about that because it's, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm never going to take that money out. I'm not going to take it out until I'm old enough to retire. I really want to just leave it there, but it's there. And I can use it if I need to. As a business owner, also as a member of a household, but as a business owner, you need to know where every penny of your money is going. I encourage you, and I'm going to do a video on each of these reports. I want you to understand your statement of cash flows, your balance sheet, and your profit and loss or income statement. I want all of my clients to understand those reports and what they can mean for their business. I also want to make sure that you have a plan. If you have a plan for your money, and I've talked about this before, I've talked about budgeting, but right now I'm talking about mindset. You need to have a plan for your money because you need to have the attitude if you're going to own a business. Not that this is all my money. It's not in a common pool. Your business has obligations that need to be paid, just as you have obligations that need to be paid. Your business has bills. You have bills. They're not the same bills usually. They might be, but they're probably not. I have credit cards for my business that are owned by the business. And I have credit cards for myself that are owned by me individually. And the big difference is the ones that are owned by the business have the business name on them. The ones that are owned by me just have my name. So I make sure that all of my liability payments are paid on time. And if I have money left over, then I can pull some out. But I have a plan for every dollar that comes in and for every dollar that goes out. It's called a budget. And I want to make sure that I am meeting that I'm hitting my marks. But the number one mindset issue I see is not so much using the lottery as a retirement vehicle. It is having this attitude that all of the money in my business belongs to me individually. It doesn't. You need to have a plan for the money in the business and then decide how much more do you need to earn to cover your business goals. One of the reasons that I am not a big fan, by the way, of any business that requires the owner to be part of the day-to-day operations is if you're the owner and you're working, there's only so many hours you can work. One of my frequent sayings is, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts or 1% of 100 people's income than 100% of mine. Because I can only work so many days. I can only work so many hours. I can only serve so many clients. But by adding employees and training them well and taking myself out of the day-to-day issues of the business, I can then make more money for my business. And the more money my business makes, the more people I can afford to hire. The more people I can afford to hire, the more money they make. And I'm able to bless the lives of other single women, other single moms, and to help them develop a career that's going to be rewarding for them. And I do pay well. So that's one of the tricks. As an owner, you probably want to get out of the day-to-day operations of your business, especially fulfillment, as quickly as possible. You want to hire employees to handle that. For a couple of reasons. Number one is you're emotionally connected to your business in a way your employees are not. That can be a good thing, but it can also be a terrible thing. Also, when you have payroll, that is the most important bill to pay. I have always believed that because there are people that need that money. They're counting on being paid on time every week in order to meet their own bills. And so I take that as a sacred obligation. So we want to make absolutely certain that that particular, and that's usually the biggest cost in a business is payroll. So there's a few things that you need to kind of take away from this. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit because I didn't script this, but there's a couple of things I want you to take away from it. Number one is your business money is not your money. Your business has obligations and rights that you as an individual do not have. You need to respect those and make sure that if your business isn't bringing in enough money to pay its bills and your bills, then find a way to add employees, reach out to us. We can give you some ideas, but find a way to increase that revenue. Revenue is going to drive everything. And a lot of your business expenses are going to be what's called variable expenses. And that means that they're going to change according to the number of hours you drive, the number of clients you have, the number of customers you have, the number of granite countertops that have been ordered. There is a variable cost to go along with all of those things. Or you may have a lot of fixed costs, which means that as your business grows, it's going to stair step. So you'll have a little bit of liabilities and then you'll grow a lot. And then all of a sudden you'll have a big jump and you'll need to grow some more to be able to meet those. And then you'll have a big jump so that you can grow your business. When you have the mindset that your business is not you and you are not your business, you are going to be more likely to make decisions that help you kind of keep it at arm's length, and which mentally it should be, and to help you make decisions that are going to actually grow it long term. Again, I'm not a big fan of owner operators. I do want to see business owners employ people so that the owner who's taken all this financial risk, who's put their reputation on the line, can not have to work so hard. And that's a frightening thing for a lot of people, but I think that's a big thing that a lot of people need to kind of let go of the control. I guarantee you, Jamie Dimon is not going into any Chase branches and trying to manage anything today. I promise you. Well, Elon Musk can't be at SpaceX, but the odds are pretty good. He's only got the same amount of time the rest of us do. He can't be involved in the day-to-day running of X, formerly Twitter. I really wish he hadn't changed the name. Or SpaceX, or the Boring Company, or any of his other ventures. He doesn't have enough time in the day to be the fulfillment for any of his ventures. And so as I firmly believe that success leaves clues, and one of those clues is the idea of, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's effort than 100% of mine. I would rather help 100 people reach their goals, because if I do that, if they're my employees, if I do that, then I'm going to enjoy a lot of financial blessings to go along with that. And they're going to have, hopefully, this is what I want for my employees, a rewarding career with a boss that pays attention to them and is interested in helping them grow. And if they meet their goals and they're taking care of my clients, then I, by default, and without having to do as much, I'm going to meet my goals. So my goal is to serve my employees. Richard Branson said it really well. He said, your job as an employer is to take care of your employees. You don't worry about the customers. You take good care of your employees. They will take care of your customers. And if your employees are taking care of your customers, you will reap the rewards of that. And that's kind of it about mindset. We also want to make sure that your mindset is such that you're allowing the money to flow in. And yes, I know that sounds super woo-woo. And some people are going to be watching this video and going, oh my gosh, she's gone off the deep end. But there is a lot to do with the power of the mind. As Nikola Tesla showed, as Tony Robbins teaches this all the time. I've done a lot of work on myself in this area. I remember the first year that I broke 6 figures. Before that, my average income was about 50 grand a year. And I was excited for that. But I considered that a success at the time because I had little kids at home and I was a single parent and I was able to work from home and our bills got paid. My son got to go to Jamboree. And there were a lot of things that kind of went into that decision that I was able to be there for my kids. And I was able to provide for them. And I was able to be home with them. And I was able to homeschool them and able to make decisions for them that wasn't necessarily based on, oh, I've got to run this around my career. So I considered that a success. And then, but I kept thinking, I can't break 6 figures. Well, I started changing my mental attitude about it. And last year, I did. Now, I'm going to say this wasn't personal income to me. I still don't. This wasn't personal income. This was top line revenue for my business. And we're on track to do even better this year. But it was a big paradigm shift when I started making more money to be able to go, oh, I deserve to make a lot of money. I have the intelligence, I have the education. I have put hundreds of thousands of dollars into making sure that I'm educated, not just formally, but informally. I'm a voracious reader. I have practiced my craft for years. I have done a lot of things to try to improve, even if it's just a few minutes a day. Today, it's less about improving on accounting, although I am still want to do that. It is more about improving as a business owner. So I am also having to take really scary risks, and I am having to make some decisions that's a little bit more scary. But now I have this experience that I can say, yes, I'm a six-figure earner. And it's real. And so now the next step is to go from 1 comma to 2 commas. So that's what I'm aiming for today. It's part of the reason I say, business owners need to get out of their own way and allow themselves to earn this income. So your takeaways on this are: the business is not you. You are not the business. The business is a separate entity with its own rights, privileges, and obligations, especially the obligations. And you, as the business owner, need to respect the obligations of the business. Second, as a business owner, you should not be doing the day-to-day fulfillment of your business. You should be hiring employees for that. If you are not in a financial position to be able to start hiring employees right away, you should be working towards that, because that will allow you to have income that's a bit more passive. By the way, there's no such thing as truly passive income. You need to be putting at least some of your money aside, especially your business money, to pay for future investments in the business and to pay for your retirement. At some point, you're going to need that money. And there is a kind of a comfort blanket behind knowing that you have money in the bank if anything happens. Even if it's tied up in a 401k and by the way, if you are working for an employer and your employer offers any matching at all, make sure you get that money. They're giving you free money, take it. And third, give yourself permission to both earn your money and to keep your money. You deserve it. Have a plan, work your plan, and you will be able to really and dramatically increase the value of your business and the value of your time and increase your lifestyle. So with that said, and I'll probably revisit this, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get this ready to upload. I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon.